What's going on, everybody? This is Lady Luck here again. Okay, so thank you guys for tuning in. Normally I don't, do uh any videos like this late, especially without a background. But I wanted to do this video in all sincerity from a serious note. I don't know what's going on with Candace Owens, but it seems like she's cracking. Candace, you're lying about this lawsuit again. And there's no reason to do that. I don't know if everything is kind of getting overwhelming for you or what. I personally, just as a suggestion, think you should take a couple days to just go in your prayer closet, hibernate, sleep, just focus on your kids and your husband for a couple days because you, you sound erratic and you're clearly hitting a breaking point. Um, so make sure you guys hit the like button first of all and subscribe to the Lady Luck Club. I mean, as a mother and just knowing that there is a lot of stress when you're trying to juggle, multiple functions, having, a platform. Me personally, I have 2 YouTube channels. She has like 2 or 3 main platforms that have millions of supporters there and 4 kids, a husband, and all these things. But I think that would be more of a reason why she would want to take some time off and not take every situation as if it's like a SOS panic mode. Now, I understand the loss of her friend. I get that. What I don't get is flat out lying about what's in a lawsuit that people can read, Candace. I just don't see the point in that. That's not something people should have to debunk. You have a following of almost 5 million supporters on YouTube. And when you speak, you forget that your influence is far reaching and your words have power. And it's becoming very, very reckless with obvious, information that can be debunked. So what am I talking about? All right, let me just pull up this video here. She did a video today. And I'm going to play this. This is from her live stream from her channel of her talking about the Macron lawsuit. She's filed a motion to dismiss along with a brief supporting that. And I've gone over that in the previous video. You guys can check it out. It'll be tagged at the end of this video, where I didn't read the full brief motion to dismiss brief to support the motion, but I did go over it, and I also read a summary on it. The video I posted up on yesterday, and then she comes back and she says this stuff here, and I'm just like, why? So let's check this out, and then we'll get to the article and then to the part of the actual lawsuit to debunk her lie about this. So
blown Fed operation. I'm hearing about the pressure that's even happening with planning this event. They're trying to make it seem like, oh my, how dare she? Did you attend a vigil? Except with anything. No, actually, I didn't attend a vigil. And nope, you're right. You got me. I was not invited to speak alongside President Trump and JD Vance on the stage with Tucker Carlson at a memorial event. What does this have to do with anything? The answer is it has to do with nothing. They're working on a narrative like they always do. They're coming in, they're squeezing, and they're trying to pretend that Charlie and I didn't speak for years. It could not be further from the truth, okay? Charlie and I never for a single second stopped being friends, ever. Never happened. They can't produce one shred of evidence to that effect. Nope, just donors.
I mean, and I honestly, I'm playing this part because it leads into the issue of the lie she told about this lawsuit, but clearly she's heard about it, and it rubbed her the wrong way, and she feels some type of way about it. If she perceives herself to be a friend, and we all witnessed this execution on national television. We all witnessed it. So, regardless of right now who the alleged killer is, we witnessed the execution. And that's not something you can unsee. And yes, if she is still friends with him, you know, you would, I'm sure she would think that she would be invited to be a part of something. But just say that I do feel some type of way about that. And let that be a conversation you have with his wife, preferably off screen. Everything doesn't have to be put on social media. It just doesn't. And certain things I wouldn't respond to, especially if I know the truth. If you think that they're coming at you to, attack you emotionally or psychologically, they wouldn't have any evidence to show that you and Charlie have not spoken in a while. They wouldn't have evidence on that. But if they're saying that because, they're in their mean girl mode, I mean, why entertain it, Candace? You have 5 million supporters. Don't entertain it. Because it have you walking away feeling a certain type of way about it. It's not even worthy of even giving a rebuttal. So I just, wanted to pause and kind of, it's clear that she feels some type of way. I don't think anyone's that blind to hearing, that bit of, pain in the voice and just kind of the frustration of that topic. It's not about evidence, Candace. It's just about being a human being. If you feel some type of way, you do. But I would have that conversation with his wife. And maybe you two can hash out what's going on here. And go from there. So.
And the donors at Turning Point need to be investigated. Because what I'm hearing, like I said, from Turning Point sources is not good. And guess what? If it's got to be me and you need to hate me forever, that's totally fine. On top of that, talk about a federal operation out of nowhere. Brigitte Macron just lies. I don't even know how they got this in the press. This is so dumb. Brigitte Macron comes out and says they have offered scientific evidence to the U.S. court to prove that Brigitte is a woman. That's what her lawyer says.
Pause. Candace, it says specifically, Macron's to offer scientific evidence to U.S. court to prove Brigitte is a woman, lawyer says. Macron's to offer. That one word is somehow giving full context to the entire statement itself. This is not past tense. This is future tense, Candace. Macron's to offer, meaning they're going to give the court scientific evidence. The one thing that I said you would need in all of my videos talking about this? All of my videos talking about this lawsuit, I have been the only one that I know of saying you would need scientific evidence to irrefutably prove someone's gender. That is a matter of science and biology and human anatomy. That is not a matter of your opinion. That can be factually debunked with science. And you know that, Candace. You're the one that said, I have my doctor, you go fly out, get a little blood, take care of this real quick. Because you know that's what will be needed to debunk anything regarding someone's gender. DNA. Science. So that is what they would have to offer to the court. And that is what they're planning on offering to the court as evidence. They're going to introduce, whether it be testimony from someone or an exhibit that scientifically proves that she was born a woman. You got to stop, Candace. You're taking away this woman's motherhood. The damage that is causing is not directly to her solely. It's directly to her, but not just her. Her children and her grandchildren. You don't want anyone questioning your motherhood. You've had 4 children. What's goofy about this is you saying that she was born a man and that she's her own brother and something about an identity switch at somebody's deathbed and all this stuff. You've gone so far down that rabbit hole with these conspiracies that somehow scientific evidence is an insult to you for some reason. I don't know why, but that is the only irrefutable evidence you would need to debunk someone saying that you were born a certain gender when you weren't. And you know that. That's why you wanted the blood of the First Lady. And I have 2 videos where I played that part of her video saying that she wanted to send her doctor out and get a little blood to take care of this real quick. She said that, not me. So if you're in my comment section asking when did she say that, check out the Candace Owens playlist. You know, it's called International Headliner. Candace Owens. Candace wants the blood of the First Lady. Look at that video. That came out of Candace's mouth. Period. And now she's going to get the scientific evidence that she's been hinting for. And it's going to debunk her. Because who the hell would lie about their gender? It's bad.
Well, the lawyer's a liar because we haven't even started this case yet. So how could you have offered?
Candace, you filed a motion to dismiss with a brief to support it after you said to the entire world on Tucker Carlson that you were not going to be seeking dismissal, and simply because you don't understand court rules and how these civil procedures go in court, you put your foot in your mouth. You don't understand how this process works, Candace. And it's funny because there are 2 other cases that have been heard that you filed in a court in Delaware. So the angle that you and your attorneys are sitting here taking with this dismissal is laughable when there's previous cases that have been heard in the state of Delaware. One of them by the same judge you have right now assigned to this case. That's not some conspiracy. That's something that can just be looked up on the case docket or just a Google search. They haven't presented it yet. It says to be presented. Evidence that they will be bringing to the court. Future tense. You mean it hasn't started yet? The hearings haven't started yet, but this case has already been docketed. What are you talking about? You and your attorney asked for an extension to file the brief to support the motion to dismiss. So if anything, you and your attorneys have been prolonging it. This is insane.
Scientific proof to a court to prove you're a woman, especially because you're not suing me over the claim that I said you were born a man. You were born a man.
False. And this is why you're being sued, Candace. Because you just won't learn. Okay. So here's the tab of the complaint itself. The first thing you see on the complaint right here. You see this? E-filed July 23rd, 2025. You guys can see the case number. N as in Nancy, 25, C as in cat, -07-194, C as in cat, L as in love, S as in Sam. Emmanuel Macron, Bridget Macron versus Candace Owens LLC, and Georgetown Inc. Complaint. In March 2024, Candace Owens, a right-wing podcaster, told the world she would stake her entire professional reputation on the fact that Brigitte Macron, the First Lady of France, is in fact a man. That is the very first sentence in this entire complaint that they have brought forward to the court. Is the allegation that you would stake your entire professional reputation on the fact, not your opinion, on the fact that Brigitte Macron is in fact a man. So she is suing you for saying that she is a man. You've said in how many videos, you were born a man, you would die a man. The day that you were served this lawsuit, that is what you said on your show. I covered that. It's all over the internet. And despite the fact that they kept giving you credible evidence to disprove your claim, hoping that you would correct the record and correct your mistakes, you ignored it. Call it all fabricated, fake, everything else in between. And you double down on it just like you just did in this video here. The very first thing in this complaint. I don't understand. I hope 5 million people that support Candace Owens still decides to read and not just go on what she says. Because Candace, you say a lot of wild things when you're angry and upset and hurt and you're frustrated and you're annoyed and irritated and aggravated. You say a lot of things that come up out of your mouth. I wish your attorneys would advise you to not even go live when you're feeling some type of way, when you're in a bad mood. Because that's when you make some preposterous claims that end up being completely false. That is exactly what they're suing you over. She is suing you over not your opinion or theory. The fact that your so-called theory was purported to be a fact, that she was a man and that she was born a man. And like you said in a video that would be used as evidence against you in a court of law, that she would die a man. And you're still saying it. And then you did an 8-part series. And, this is the audacity. All of this stuff has been verifiably false and defamatory. You're sitting here attacking her womanhood, her motherhood. You're saying that her children aren't hers. You have gone on and on and on and on with this, Candace. Pride comes before the fall. And you're about to experience a mighty hard, high fall. You said you would stake your entire professional reputation on the fact. And it's about to be tested, Candace. You would think you would just say, you know what, Lady Luck Club is just, she said it 1,000 times. I guess I should say that I made a mistake in good faith. You won't even do that. Now, I'm not saying that's going to guarantee that the Macrons would dismiss the lawsuit, because if they're planning on bringing forth scientific evidence to the court, they're not trying to have this case dismissed. But should they? Considering the fact that you just said today that she is a man still. You're still saying it. Oh my God, you can't make this up. Let's go back to this tab and let's rewind again now that we've seen the complaint and hear this again. Because the article, let me show you all this article right quick. It says here that they plan on presenting the evidence to the court. That's what they're planning on doing. You all haven't had a hearing yet. We all know that. Some of us actually look at the court docket activity. I know I do, because I don't go on what people just say when it comes to legal matters like this in the court of law. I will go to the court docket and look up the activity. You can't go so far into theories to where you tap out of reality. And that's what's happening right now, Candace. That's exactly what they're suing you for. You keep calling her a man. You purporting some fact that she was born a man. So in a fiery rebuttal to the defamation lawsuit filed against her by the French President Emmanuel Macron and First Lady Brigitte Macron, conservative commentator Candace Owens took to X, formerly Twitter, to assert this is verifiably false. She isn't suing me for saying she's a man. She has never sued anyone for saying she's a dude, because she is one. Well, that's exactly what she's suing you for, Candace. For saying that you would stake your entire reputation on the fact that she is a man. That's exactly why they're suing you. So now that we see the complaint and those who still decide to, be tapped into reality here on earth in the year of our Lord 2025, let's go back to the video. because I don't do conspiracy theories. It's annoying and it's unnecessary. Let's go back here and let's hear this again.
I didn't speak for years. It could not be further from the truth. Okay. Charlie and I never for a single second stopped being friends. Ever. Never happened. They can't produce one shred of evidence to that effect. Nope. Just donors. And the donors at Turning Point need to be investigated. Because what I'm hearing, like I said, from Turning Point sources is not good. And guess what? If it's gotta be me and you need to hate me forever, that's totally fine.
You don't want to be the scapegoat.
On top of that, talk about a federal operation out of nowhere. Brigitte Macron just lies. I don't even know how they got this in the press. This is so dumb. Brigitte Macron.
I don't know how they got this in the press. She's the first lady of France. You do understand that France is a sovereign nation. And as a matter of fact, they helped the U.S. become an independent nation. Yeah, France helped what was the beginning of the United States during the American Revolution. I don't understand why, why is that a foreign concept? You mean got it in the news. All they have to do is sneeze hard and it's going to land in the news. She's married to a world leader.
Comes out and says they have offered scientific evidence to the U.S. court to prove that Brigitte is a woman. That's what her lawyer says. Well, the lawyer's a liar because we haven't even started this case yet. So how could you have offered scientific proof to a court to prove you're a woman, especially because
the case started when the actual lawsuit was filed to the court and docketed, Candace. You have not had a hearing yet.
You're not suing me over the claim that I said you were born a man. You were born a man. Oh, I guess you're born a boy, a male is what I should say. You're born a male and you've never sued anybody for making that statement. You sue for things around it. You're suing me because you're saying, well, you said I stole the identity from my sister. I'm not a thief. You've never.
Candace never read the lawsuit complaint. You never read the lawsuit complaint. It's page 1. Paragraph 1. Under the word complaint.
Sued anybody for the claim that you were born male. So I don't know what this is. Just like we're just going to all hound Candace to try to distract her from looking into Charlie Kirk's murder.
This lawsuit was before your friend was executed, Candace. This is why you need to take a couple days off. This lawsuit goes back to July. Who knew that Charlie Kirk would be executed in front of the world to see? Who knew that was going to happen? This isn't a distraction. The lawsuit had already been filed and docketed with the court going back to July. Candace, it's September 20th. You got to take some time off. This is not healthy.
Murder and assassination, but it's focusing me more because this is not normal. Like the amount of lying that's happening right now is because you don't think I'm strong enough to handle it and you're trying to break me. You're not going to break me. Okay. I watched him catch a bullet.
That's not a lie. It's not a lie, Candace. It's not a lie. It's a matter of reading. It's fundamental. And you know it is. This isn't a lie. Her attorney needs to call her and say, listen, girl, I'm your lawyer. And I'm just trying to offer you some just good counsel and wisdom right now. Can you please get off of social media for 3 days? That's what needs to happen here. Tell her what she needs to know, not what she wants to hear. Step away from social media, Candace. You have 4 children. There is no way you're giving them full attention right now. At this rate, we know that you lost Charlie Kirk. So did his family and other friends that he had as well. But what you're doing is absolutely reckless and a complete disregard of the truth. And you have to stop, because this video will be used against you in a court of law. And you can't go in there and say, I was emotional. I'll blame it on a pregnancy. You know, that was a joke. It was funny when you were saying that with Cardi B. But that's not how it works in real life either. This is real life. This is not a game. So her attorneys need to sit her down and tell her, listen, get off social media for 3 days. Get you some rest. Spend time with your babies and your husband. Take a little mini vacation. Don't even open your phone up. And sleep. Girl, sleep. I'm not even trying to offer any excuses for Candace. But clearly you are sleep deprived too. Because you're delirious. This is insane. You're going against documentation and writing. And 5 million supporters, you guys aren't telling her to reel it in. You guys aren't going to do that. So none of you, all 5 million of you, are just going to sit here and let her crash out like this. This is crazy. All right.
Bullet in the throat, and we're being lied to by everybody about who was involved, why it happened, and why you are attacking the people who are the person, rather, who is trying to investigate it. You're not a good friend, they say, if you investigate this.
See, that
now they're running
her.
How dare you get clicks for investigating it? What? This is my show. How dare you get clips for even talking about me talking about it? You morons. You guys think we're that stupid? How dare
she's very bothered by that. That bothered her. And like I said, this is real life. I mean, I'm not expecting her to not show real emotions here, but not to sit here and just go off lying again and doubling down on, Brigitte Macron being a man. That's that science is going to prove otherwise, Candace. Stop now. You have 4 children to worry about. You want to stake your entire reputation and career on that? Okay. What you don't want is for God to sit you down. And he has a way of sitting you down and getting your attention. And it's going to be in a way where you're not going to like it. So take heed to some wisdom. Who is able to talk to her and she actually listens to them? Where are her parents at? Somebody needs to talk to her. Because this is insane. And it's causing more damage to the First Lady. That lawsuit is a separate issue from Charlie Kirk's death. And that lawsuit came before his death. So you can't go to court talking about, I lost my friend, but you're still saying she's a man. It shows that you're intentionally doing this, in your right frame of mind, that you are saying what you're saying with intent. This is not an accident. It's not out of grief or anything. You're still saying she's a man. Stop it. It's getting stupid. All right, that's all I got. I'm done fussing. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I don't. What I hate is for her children to have to grow up and see their mom crash out like this. And Brigitte Macron has 3 daughters. She has grandchildren. They're being affected by this. It is absolutely insane. And now they will be presenting evidence to the court that is scientific evidence to debunk Candace. And her whole career and reputation, remember now, is being staked on that. So, Candace, you got to stop putting your foot in your mouth, or else God is going to have the final say so, and you ain't going to like it. Go take you some time off. Get off of social media. Go to bed. Get some sleep. And do what you can to help solve, whatever questions you have about your friend's death. But don't get obsessed with it, because it's going to drive you crazy. And we can all see that right now. All right? So, that's it. That's my rant. You guys, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to the Lady Luck Club. Oh, Lord have mercy. And somebody send this to Candace so she can... You're not going to be able to go on like this forever. This is not going to work forever. All right. Until the next one, Lady Luck Club out. Deuces.